Okay, so I am so thrilled for today and all that I have to show you. If you have been around any amount of time, then you have heard me complain, let's just be honest and call it what it is. I have complained often about our master closet, which is also our laundry room, our utility closet, and our bulk pantry storage, because we try to keep bulk food storage on hand for emergency preparedness, and also we don't have a very big pantry in our kitchen, so it goes there. We do not have a very big house. It's all relative, but our house I think is like 1,000 square feet, and the storage options are just minimal. We have a closet in each of the girls' bedrooms, and then we have this closet. So that is what we're working with. No basement, no attic, no coat closets, no utility room, nothing like that. We do have some storage buildings outside, so we're not in awful shape, and we could always stand to get rid of some more stuff. But this multi-purpose room has irked my nerves for so long, and I am just so thrilled to finally have some systems in place. There's really not much aesthetic about it. If you're looking for one of those beautiful pantry closet makeovers, that's not this. I honestly had intentions of that, and maybe one day I will get to bring all the pretties into it. But for now, I was talked down to a more reasonable goal for this project, and it really didn't take a whole lot because I was not looking forward to painting this room, having to move a water heater, a washer dryer, just a bunch of stuff in a really small space. So I am really pleased with how it turned out. I do want to go ahead and show you how we started so that you will kind of see what we were working with, and maybe you can understand where some of my frustrations came from. But anyways, I'm super glad that you're here, super glad to take you along, and I hope that you enjoy this. So we don't have a closet door. I have a rod, and I have a curtain coming that I'm planning on hanging over it. So currently we just have baskets everywhere, like good grief. Our washer and dryer do not match, but for now that's not going to change. And then we have, ooh, yikes. So these are re-gifts. We'll get into that more later. I want to do something different for hat storage. All of this up here is just like bags over there. I just don't even know what's going on. There's just a lot happening. Yeah, so listen, it just keeps going. There's another hamper, and there's some shoe storage of sorts under there. So that's what we're working with. Let's see what we can do from here. So step one was obviously to remove all of the things that had been accumulated and piled up inside this closet. Now, like I said, I had plans of this being aesthetic and really beautiful, like a definitely Pinterest-worthy makeover. And although that's not what's happening today, I'm still going to tell you about my plans because I really do hope to accomplish them down the road at some point. Now, some would say, some very close in my life to me would say, why on earth would you care for this closet to be aesthetic? Because nobody sees it, especially now that you have a curtain over the door frame. You just close the curtain, hides the mess, hides the chaos, hides the not so pretty. But you know what? I say, if you're going to be doing housework, and maybe it's not the most enjoyable task, maybe it tends to become mundane and things like that, not by any means should we like overspend or, you know, go outside of our budget for the sake of having a pretty laundry room and closet. But if it is within reason, why not make it pretty? Why not make the mundane beautiful? I think there's so much value in romanticizing our life, not in the sense that it makes it something that it's not, or paints it to be something that is fake or anything like that. We don't ever want to like be misleading or hide all of, you know, just put on lipstick and grin and bear it and pretend like we don't go through stuff at the same time as everyone else around us going through things. But I think that it definitely helps our perspective whenever we romanticize things a little bit. And I talked about this in a short recently. But is it really romanticizing, or is it just changing our perspective? Because I will tell you, there are so many times that because I had a camera set up and I was filming myself doing whatever I was doing for a video, I saw my girls doing things in the background that I did not notice with my own two eyes in real time. And it's such a sweet thing to see my life through the perspective of my camera lens, or really and truly what it is seeing it through the perspective of an outsider. And so I just love love getting to do that. And especially like if you add a beautiful tune to the background, it's amazing how good life really looks. And like I said, that's not to say that we aren't actually dealing with stuff and walking through some hard things on a day-to-day basis, like everybody else around the world is, but it really does just make a difference whenever we choose to see things through a lens of gratitude versus just dread or monotonous everyday activities that we are so accustomed to because we do them all the time.
Second level?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Between the middle lines.
Kinda.
It's in there. It's like parking a car.
Except down there when your basket won't fit.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. So anyways, all of that to say, I was planning on painting the walls in this room some kind of like moss green and wallpapering or stenciling the ceiling. That's what I was getting at, and it was going to be beautiful, and one day it still will be, but for now, we're just working on functionality. So what I've done up to this point is I have turned our washing machine to be on the same wall as our dryer. For the last 2 years, I love my husband, I love my family, all of the people that help us. We have an amazing support system. But for 2 years, I have been told that our washing machine and dryer cannot sit on the same wall because of whatever reason. And then I was just looking at it and I said, you know what? That hose looks long enough to where I could turn them. I could totally turn them. And it's just very inconvenient to get the clothes out of the top of the washing machine and then turn and go completely behind your back to put them in the dryer. So we had already turned the door on the dryer. If you are in this situation, I did not realize that you could flip your dryer door to be reversed on the opposite side. They're built that way. So we did that already, which was a huge help. That way we weren't going around the dryer door to get clothes into the dryer from the washing machine. But I was just stunned and shocked and honestly kind of frustrated with myself that I had not tried sooner to move the washer and dryer to the same wall. But very, very excited that I was able to. I stayed in the room while I ran the first load of clothes washing just to make sure that nothing flooded or leaked. That would have been very bad. But I went ahead and did that, and then I took my dryer off of the pedestal drawer that was underneath it. We really just used that as like a junk drawer. It was bad, and it felt like you had more room to walk between the clothes rack and the dryer because the dryer wasn't standing up quite so tall. So it gives the illusion that there's more room simply because there is not this huge bulky appliance standing quite as tall. And then I had been looking for a vertical stacking laundry hamper system on Amazon and anywhere on the internet for so very long, and of course could not find anything that I was just really pleased with until, thank you Pinterest, I found the track system with the standards and the like hook-in shelf brackets. And we actually had that whole system in our barn not being used. My mom had given it to us a while back to use for wood storage, and we never actually used it because it wouldn't secure correctly to our barn walls. So it was just sitting there waiting. And you know, the hamper baskets that are used on it are like $3 and some change at Walmart. So I was absolutely pumped and am loving that system so far. It also helps me to make sure that I'm not letting laundry get too full because they are stacked on top of each other. There's really nowhere for them to overflow to, which is very good in terms of like creating discipline in my laundry system. I also just had all of my cleaning supplies thrown into one big tote bucket. So I put some shelves on the wall above where the washing machine used to be, and that is now holding all of the cleaning supplies that we use on a regular basis. And then I cut our closet shelf and rod down to a little over half. It was like a 70 something inch board and rod, and I cut it down to like 43 inches. So again, the idea here was just like with taking the dryer off of the pedestal drawer, creating more space to walk through back to our clothes and our bulk pantry storage shelving. This kind of backed those clothes up so that it didn't feel like you were just walking right into something as soon as you came through the door. I was a little bit nervous that they wouldn't all fit, but thanks to these vertical, I don't know, space-saving hangers, maybe that's what they're called, everything just fit. And honestly, I could clean out my stuff quite a bit more to create more space, but even just as it is, I'm not concerned that anything's going to fall off, and it's really not that hard to find stuff. So, I mean, we wear the same stuff all the time anyways, if I'm being honest, so it's not like it's really an issue. Bless her heart. I also hung this higher on the wall, and that gave us a lot more room to actually get to our shoes underneath the clothes. It didn't feel like we were having to like crawl underneath all of our clothes in order to find a pair of shoes. This makes it much more easily accessible, but we can still reach both. And then I borrowed this basket from a different closet that just had like knickknacks in it to put all of my husband's hats in. Okay, so anybody with children, or like even if they're not your children, just small children in your life, you can attest to the fact that kids grow so quickly. So unfortunately, sometimes we are given things that they just outgrow too soon before they're able to enjoy it as a toy or clothing, you know, if they're not able to wear it. And then sometimes as adults, there are white elephant games and random gifts that you receive that you're just like, I don't know, maybe I'll use that at some point, but in the meantime, I'm just going to put it right up here in case someone else could use it more. And so yeah, we have a couple of re-gift boxes in the top of our closet. I'm not going to show you the exact contents of each one, just in case anybody who has ever given us something sees something that they gave us in there. It's nothing personal. It's just a way that we try to save money and reduce the amount of clutter in our own home. So I did get some baskets for those instead of the old diaper boxes that they were in, because every time that I went to grab one, the whole thing fell on my head, and I was so tired of having near concussions from wooden puzzles falling on me. So definitely love the look of those baskets way more. I used the remainder of our closet shelf above the water heater, like quite a ways above the water heater, to hold paints, stains, things like that. We don't really have a temperature controlled area other than this one. We have a few storage buildings, our barn, and then like 2 small storage buildings outside where we keep things, but none of them are temperature controlled, so paints always go bad, usually just in winter when it's really cold and they like freeze up or, you know, get clobbered or whatever it is that they do. It just doesn't go well. So this is a place that we can keep paints and stains throughout the year, where we're not just having to throw them away when springtime comes again. I also just used some extra boards that we had in our barn to make shelves for this cabinet. I did not enjoy all the wasted space that we had in here, because this is just like one of those pre-made cabinets from Home Depot when we remodeled our kitchen before moving into our house. That's where we got all of our cabinets from for the kitchen, and this was an extra that we had ordered, so we just decided we would use it in the laundry room space for extra storage. And I really do like that it's here. It comes in handy a lot for extra cleaning supplies that maybe aren't used quite as much, and the ones that have harsher chemicals. I try to make a lot of our cleaning products homemade, so that it's just like vinegar and baking soda and cornstarch and essential oils and those kinds of things that are less harsh, much safer for little kids, and just, you know, less likely to irritate allergies or anything like that for us and people that come into our home. But there are some things that just work better with the chemicals, you know, magic erasers, Kaboom, Clorox. Some of those things are just necessary at times. So I love having this cabinet here to keep those in. And now I'm very excited that we have extra shelving to store other things as well, like our bulk baby wipes and my husband's gun cleaning kit, and, you know, just different things that kind of couldn't find a great home before. Now they are using this space well. Looking back, it seems like the majority of our closet shelf that I cut off was previously being used for the amount of extra hangers that we have. And I have gotten rid of a lot of hangers, but I feel like you just need to keep some. and so I didn't have a great place for those to hang, and I used the remainder of the closet rod that I had cut down. I hung it under our cleaning product shelves beside the washing machine, and now I'm just keeping extra hangers there. I like this a lot more. They don't fit perfectly between the wall and the rod itself, but it still does the job, and I just like this so much better because it seems like they're just out of the way, but they're also easily accessible right there beside the washer and dryer as things need to be hung that, you know, need to hang to dry or whatever it is. But I love a good dowel rod, you guys. I did not realize how much I love dowel rods until this project, but you'll see I continue to use them. And don't ever underestimate the power of a dowel rod, because they can do so many things. So just throwing that out there, if you have problem areas in your house and you don't want to spend a ton of money on rod systems or whatever else, look into how you can use dowel rod to solve your problem. You might be surprised, and you might be very pleasantly surprised. And lastly, the only really aesthetic piece of this whole project was I got a curtain to go over the door. I think that it would be really cool to have some antique French style doors, but it's just tricky. Like I've said before, our bedroom is a closed-in carport, so that's technically an exterior door frame. The sizing of doors for that would be tricky, plus it would probably have to swing in towards the washer and dryer. So a curtain just makes the most sense financially, and like practically, this makes the most sense. I was going to just find some fabric that I liked and make my own curtain, and then whenever I went to the store and finally decided on a fabric, they didn't have enough of a continuous piece for the length of our door frame. So I found this one on Amazon. I'll have it linked below because I really like it, and it's actually proven to be better because it is like a blackout curtain, and it seems like maybe it's insulated as well, because whenever the curtain is closed and the dryer is running for a long time, we walk into the laundry room and it is warm in there, but our bedroom is still super cool. So it's like we were losing a lot of air that we didn't even realize to the dryer and the laundry, and this curtain is now helping with that. So added bonus for sure. All in all, like I said, I am so pleased with this. It excites me probably far more than it should, that it is just so much more functional and organized, and I'm not constantly tripping over a million baskets or pulling things out on my head whenever I'm just trying to find one simple thing. It just feels good to know where things are, for everything to have a home and to be in their home, and I just love it. I love it so much. I hope that you've enjoyed this. There was a lot going on in this video, and at the end of the day, you may be like, you know what, that's not that spectacular. I feel like not all that much has changed. And you don't have to, because I do, but I'm the one in it, so I know that there's a difference. But I'm so glad that you chose to spend part of your day here with me. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.